Good afternoon and welcome to the guest bedroom, which is currently not guest ready, but it needs to be because I have company coming into town this weekend, which I'm very excited for. Recently, I decided to do a little rearranging. A dresser got moved from my bedroom to the playroom, which means that some of my stuff got turned out onto this bed. This is my sewing, crafting stuff. So yeah. I need to go through everything. I need to figure out what needs to stay and what needs to go. And then I need to get some kind of storage container that can house all of my extra fabric and sewing paraphernalia in a way that is tidy and organized and out of the way so that this room can be a guest bedroom when it needs to be and a sewing room when it needs to be. I'm going to open the closet, show you what's in there, and get started. I don't care what it looks like. This is a lot better than it used to be. There's definitely some things in here that I have leftovers from old projects and I'm not going to use them again. And I'm deluding myself thinking that I will. So I'll go ahead and pass those on, get them out of my closet so that I can condense everything to be able to fit properly within storage compartments in the closet. First thing to go is this book. I got it when I was doing my prenatal yoga training and I have not been able to go through it, but I've heard it's a lovely book, so I'll pass it along to somebody else who can use it. All right, these two things, the heater and the fan, depending on the season, I set them up here underneath this little table for company because this room is not well insulated. The temperature varies quite a bit, so I like to set these out so that our company stays comfortable. But in the meantime, I can put these in the hall closet. Oh, this is hard because these are patterns that I made when I was making our Mickey ears for our Disney cruise. And they weren't the easiest patterns to make. So do I keep them or do I get rid of them? I think I'll get rid of this one and I'll keep this one. Ooh. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, good. These are business cards for the studio, and we have run out at the studio. Oh my gosh, I need to get these over to the studio. White fabric, can always use that. Will not use that. I hate sewing with stretch. Patterns. I'll let this pattern go. I'll let this one go. I don't see myself making that. Cute. You can tell I had plans to make clothes for little man, but I never have. And we don't dress him up formal. So I'll let that one go. This is a nice pattern for button-up collar shirt. So I will hang on to that because I can probably use pieces from that. So I'll hang on to those. I think this is a full yard. I'll hang on to that. That's a good chunk. Yes to white. Oh, magnetic sheets. Zippers, keychains, and oh yeah. For a little while I was doing a bunch of macrame and I had ambitions of making keychains with these cute little like quartz stones in it. That can be given away. Chalk paper interfacing. I did make a dress out of this, but there's plenty of it left that I could do something else with that. I need to make something out of this for little man. All right, those are headbands to make Mickey ears. Hot glue, definitely a keep. Just the rest of that pattern. Wire, pencils, those can go somewhere else. Oh man, this is a big staple gun. And do I keep it and potentially never use it again? Or do I let it go and then potentially need it and have to buy a new one? I know. If it fits, I keep it. If it doesn't fit, I won't. There. So this is my sewing tackle box. I already know everything that's in here and I use it and I need it. I can just put the lids back on and keep moving. Scissors, ribbon. I do use that. Too little for anything, too little for anything. Use this sewing machine pedal, obviously. Oh, I wonder if we could get our sewing machine pedals to fit in the same drawer. I bet we could. Ribbon, zipper that I might actually use. All of my serger thread. Go in there and we'll put it in with the ribbon. And the petals will go on the bottom. These are pressure feet from my Bernina. I had to pause for a moment to go get some motivation. Oh, but we're back. I also threw the beach towels into the wash so those can wash and dry. They're actually not ours. They are my nephew's. So I'll get those back to him. Easy. All right, what do we got in here? Again, fabric that I was using to make Mickey ears. Those can be said goodbye to. I got some more ribbon. I used to have enough ribbon that I had like a pole that I would thread them through and then hang them up, which is what these hooks used to be used for. Oh, and that little ribbon. But I have used and whittled down my collection, so that's good. So now we can keep it all in this little drawer, because I have also filled the hanging space in that closet with vintage and antique clothes. I'll give you a peek at those in just a moment. Buttons. And what should we do? Elastic. I wonder if putting all of my elastic in here would be a good idea. These little elastics, their intention is as headbands to make bows for babies, and I have used them for that, but I actually bought them in 2020. I was making masks, as one does, and these were the softest ear elastics ever. And if you were making masks in 2020, you know that you could not buy thin elastic. It was out of stock everywhere, but for some reason these little hair bow elastics were easy to come by, and they worked a lot better and were a lot more comfortable than any other elastics. So that worked out for me. And you're too big for that. Doesn't have to be perfect, just needs to be better. Okay, I got a nice big thing here. The only thing that I can think of for right now, which I need to access fairly regularly, because I think I'm going to get like a big tote for the rest of this stuff that I don't need regularly. Like when I have a project and I need to find something, I can look through it and see if I have the materials that I need. But this tower is kind of specifically for the things that I use almost every time I have a project. So I think that's good for that one. I pilfered this box out of Brad's office because it was not being used. So I'm going to put all the sewing supplies in here. So these three were too long for this box. So I just trimmed an inch or two off the end so that now they fit perfectly. Look at that. These have been hanging around for many years, and I am just tired of them not fitting into any of the storage compartments that I have needed them to fit into. So now it is a rule for them to stay. They must fit into the box. And now they do. This is just many yards of zipper. So I've been sewing since I think I was 10, and I'm all self-taught. I would love to be able to take some classes at some point so that I can learn how to sew correctly. That would be very cool. But my sewing kind of comes and goes in fits. So sometimes I feel like sewing and I do like 10 projects all at once, and then I kind of phase out of that for a couple months and it goes untouched for a little while, and then I come back to it, or somebody else needs help with something, so I help them out. I have worked at an alteration shop, but it is not my favorite way to sew. I do love constructing new stuff, not taking apart and then putting back together. So these are some rhinestones and beads that I used for making Disney ears, and I see them and I think of Gus Gus, and he's like, ooh, beads! Okay, well that is awesome sauce. So I'll slip this up into the top shelf in the closet. My yoga wheel needs to go into my closet. And so does my mat cleaner. So this is all vintage antique items. These are all the vintage and antique dresses. Some of these I do need to take into Vintage to Vogue, which is a consignment shop in Greensboro, and see if we can consign some of them. This is a swimsuit. Isn't it cute? Look at that swimsuit. Ah, so cute. One of my favorites. This was my grandmother's rehearsal luncheon dress. And then just some absolutely beautiful skirt suits from 1950. I've got some wooden shelves down here. Those are listed on Facebook Marketplace to see if I can sell those because we're not using them. But for right now, I will take them and put them in the hall closet because that'll make them easier to access when we do sell them. And then I have my cello stand tucked up in the corner, as well as my music stand in the other. This is the best storage place for these, so they're going to get left in here. So let me go ahead and move those shelves out and then grab the vacuum cleaner and vacuum in here so that we're working with a fresh, clean canvas slate. I don't know. Okay, I think that's everything that's going to be going in this closet for now. I do like to keep my sewing machines on the floor. It just feels safer than having to heave them up onto a shelf and the danger of them falling. I've got my cello and then my sewing box. And these drawers are tidied up and cleaned out, which is great. So I just need to finish putting all this stuff that's not going to be going into that closet anymore where it belongs in order to finish getting this room guest ready. So Brad let me have one more of the clear bends. I have these pillows that I only use for the stuffing. So instead of going and buying new polyester stuffing for whatever project I might be doing, I went to Goodwill and got like $2 pillows. And I've been slowly using the stuffing out of them. So I'm going to squash them down into this bin and so I can put it up in the closet as well. And instead of having these two random pillows just kind of stuffed up in there ready to fall at any moment. There we go, so much better. These weights get shifted around so often, but usually they do live in the playroom. So I will move them back in there. Brad picked this toy up from someone on Facebook Marketplace, and it's been hiding in here. It's a Hot Wheels kind of track, but I think I'm going to slip it down into Brad's office closet because little man's not allowed in there, and it just doesn't say cozy stay over at a friend's house having it in here for guests. So let me move that downstairs. All right, let's see what's under the bed. Okay. Naturally. There's a cat. Okay, I usually do keep my cutting boards underneath the bed. I want to bring the Robo-Rock in here and let it vacuum though, so I'll go ahead and set these up on top of the bed so that the vacuum can get all up underneath this bed. Let me set this chair up. All right, so that project is done. Now I can clean this room and get it ready for company this weekend. but having everything in the closet organized and put away just brings us one step closer. So thank you so much for joining me along on this journey, and I will see you next time.